Okay.
No.
His definition.
Stop, brother. That's fraud. That's illegal.
We're going to be doing a video today where we review one of BANDMAN Kevo's videos on how to finesse, it's how to finesse the credit bureaus out of an 800+ credit score. So we'll see. We're going to talk about that. Some of it's actually good information.
Yeah.
Juan does seminars. He currently does seminars on credit repair and building credit. He also used to own a credit repair company and he would help people build credit, and now he does seminars. And so let's start at the beginning. This is him in a car talking about credit.
Not a car, a Lambo.
Is it a Lambo? No, it is a Lambo.
Lambo, man.
Nice.
Yeah, 800 in less than 2 months.
800 credit score in less than 2 months. By the way, it's already not
800.
possible, but that's fine. Even with the tricks that he uses,
it's impossible.
Well, actually, in a way, it does. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. You gotta hear what he's doing.
Trying to get a credit score that's an 800 in less than 2 to 3 months. Very first step.
Impossible.
On trade lines or primaries. What are trade lines and primaries? Trade lines are a piggyback off someone else's credit. So let's say if I got a credit card,
you can.
and I want to make
I've done it. I still do it.
Yeah.
If I want to make you an authorized user on my credit card so you can gain my history.
And that's true.
That is absolutely true. You know, the feds created that system.
Sign up for to have memberships that if you buy something from their site, they will give you a $5,000 credit.
Nice. It's got the little subscribe click.
As far as like, I could tell you a few sites as far as that you can sign.
He's giving a little bit of information here, which is actually good.
You know what I mean? You can go to myjewellersclub.com. They give you an automatic $5,000, you know what I'm saying, primary that will report. And you know what I'm saying? It'll probably shoot you up a nice amount of points. You can sign up for New Coast Direct. You can sign up for Huntington Chase. You can sign up for an app called Self. You know what I mean? Like, it's also another credit card called Grain, the digital credit card. It's on the App Store. You know what I'm saying? It's all types of different sites you can sign up for. These are good primaries that will help your credit shoot up crazy. Now, on my OnlyFans, I got like over $50,000, $60,000 worth of primaries that you can go to, and you can sign up for every single site. And basically,
you can sign up for American Express and it will increase your credit. You can sign up for a $200,000 mortgage and it will increase your credit.
Yeah, but this is...
You know what I'm saying? You definitely have to pay these places back on time. My suggestion is basically having a banking account linked and do auto payment. You know what I mean? Primaries,
horrible
suggestion.
Lines,
you know what I'm saying? You put those two together, you unstoppable. You'll be able to get a lot. You'll be able to get higher limit credit cards. You know what I'm saying? Make sure you guys sign up for the Experian app to keep...
They just
is that aluminum foil?
They're showing...
You know what I'm saying?
There's a Dolce & Gabbana.
Oh, sorry.
Dolce & Gabbana.
I thought it was a burrito from Chipotle.
He's wearing the same kind of. It's a whole outfit that matches. Yeah. See.
Oh. Like an Elon Musk kind of a SpaceX thing going.
Okay. All right. I'm gonna stop real quick because he's kind of just rambling a little bit.
Yes.
And we interrupted him much time, and I apologize about that. My bad. But. So it depends. Boy, you're ready to just chew him up, aren't you? Okay, stop. So listen, here's the problem with the statement that he's not clarifying the statement. I'm gonna let.
Which statement?
The statement where you can jump your credit up just by getting on a primary. First of all, the little, what was that thing? The
piggyback riding?
No, one thing at a time. For God's sakes. All right, let's start there. So,
no. Let's start where you want to start. To jump your credit to 800 in 60 to 90 days.
Okay, so first off, let's assume one thing. If you have no credit, the credit agency will not generate credit scores for you with no history, for 6 months. But he's talking about, and he always does this, by the way. He calls them trade lines, and then he says trade lines, and then he calls it piggybacking. But what he's saying is, and I've watched 2 videos where it's not real clear. What he's saying is he wants you to what's called piggybacking off of someone else's trade line. So Juan has a credit card that he's had for 10 years.
Correct.
It's got a $20,000 high credit limit. He owes less than $500 on it. So it's helping to generate 800 credit scores for Juan, let's say. Now, if Juan adds me onto his credit card, as an he'll call it as an AU, an authorized user. Then after about the next time his credit card,
the next cycle,
when his credit card reports again, they will also report on my credit. Only though, if part of the authorized user sign, where he signs me onto it, they ask for my name, date of birth, and social security number. Because a lot of these companies won't do that.
Let me stop you right there, because this is exactly something that I'm doing right now, teaching. Okay, and I'm getting results on this, and I'm getting not results on this.
Right. Depends on the credit card.
There is only 7 credit cards that actually report. So a lot of people don't know this. Wells Fargo, Bank of America, Berkeley, that will report an authorized user.
Okay, you got to clarify it. See what I'm saying?
Correct. So the other cards will take an authorized user.
And they'll give you a card.
Of course, but it will not report.
Right.
The other thing is what you're trying to alter, which he doesn't explain there, is the limit balance part of your score, which is only 30% of your score.
Right. Yeah.
And a lot has to do with your history. So when he says, well, you can get to an 800 score. Well, starting where?
Right.
If I'm at 400, I'm going to jump to 800? No. If I'm on 700, yeah. But this is the funny part. If I'm at 0, yeah, it's going to get me at 800.
You have nothing else reported.
Because I have nothing else.
Right. But seldomly, and keep in mind now all that's showing up is I'm an authorized signer on somebody, and it says authorized user.
That's key also. On your credit report, it's going to show authorized user.
Yeah.
So when the lender is going to approve you for the loan, he's going to know that that's not you.
Yes.
So he's not going to take that trade line under consideration.
Right. So
know that from the get-go.
Unless it's something that's generated just off your score,
like a credit card,
like another credit card, right? So,
or like an auto loan.
Well, first of all, if it's an auto loan, think about it. By the time if at some point somebody has to see it, they might catch it. There's a good chance they catch it.
Did you know? Or did you know this camera right here? Or this one, Kobe? Did you know? No, not there. Did you know that, which I didn't know, there is 16 FICO scores nowadays per bureau?
No, I didn't know that.
It's a disaster because now they have FICO 1 through 8, and it's called 1 through 8 auto, 1 through 8 bank card.
So one's auto for automobiles?
Automobiles only. So you may get a 680, but when you go get a loan, they tell you, well, you only have a 590 because your 680 is on bank card, is not on FICO auto. I didn't know that stuff.
Do you know why that makes sense to me? When I went to go get my loan on my car, and I told the woman, I was like, oh, I got a 755. When they pulled it, it was like a 730. And I asked her, I said, no, I just pulled it. Yeah. Like I get updates every month. And I said, a week ago. And she said, oh, no, ours is different. And I remember thinking, yours isn't different. I was like, yours isn't different than the one.
So we go back
to FICO.
To what score are we talking about? What score am I trying to increase? Which score is going to get to 800? You know what I mean?
Here's the thing. He'll probably tell you all that if you join his fans only page.
Every time you say fans only, I think that I'm going to look at some nasty stuff.
You're thinking he's there naked talking to you about credit.
Like, let me get you.
BANDMAN
to increase
Kevo
your
is
FICO.
He's laying there with a bunch of credit cards. He's like swimming through credit cards naked. And he talks to you naked.
I'll get your credit up if you know what I'm saying.
That's not what. No. So that's one thing.
By the way, what's happening with this camera? We're not in there anymore.
I don't know. Colby,
what happened with the middle camera?
Still recording.
Yeah.
Oh, that's because the card's full. Correct.
I mean, this is not my gig, so I don't know what's going on.
Okay, that's fine. So, and listen, there was a time when I would have been like, "We gotta stop. You gotta clip that. I don't care.
Clip one.
Like, oh, we gotta cut that, Colby. That where we point at the thing. It doesn't matter.
Oh no.
Right.
It's your rawness. It's the nature of this podcast what makes you popular. Yeah, absolutely. You're legit.
I feel like it should be blowing.
You're a legit fraudster.
How does that even mean?
I don't know. I had a teacher that used to say, you're a fraudster when you can fake sincerity.
Oh,
and I was like, I can do that all day. I'll cry.
Yeah, you fake sincerity. You've got it made.
How many ugly children you complimented in your life to get people's money? Oh my God, this is your son? Yeah. What a beautiful boy. I tell you, the cross eyes really did it for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
the club foot,
my dad told me, listen, my father told me when I was growing up, he said, you'll always be able to get a job selling, being a salesman. I was like, really? He said, yeah. He said, listen, the secret of sales is sincerity. If you can fake that, you got it made.
Absolutely.
He goes, and you've got that in spades. I was like, and tip to my dad, that was a huge compliment. Probably one of the best compliments I've ever gotten from a guy.
I tell people in my classes, my mom always tells me, listen, if you end up in a wheelchair, I know you'll make money. But if you lose your voice, you're done.
Oh, you're done. So
yeah.
All right.
So going back to this guy. Enough about us. You already know that we suffer from a massive narcissism.
Yes. The other thing he mentions here is he mentions where he says you can go and you can get a jeweler's. I think he calls it. I could be wrong. It's like a
jeweler club.
Right. So jeweler's club. So that's not a primary card. Primary cards are like,
No, that's not. But he mentioned one that is really good that also is new. It's called Self.
Okay.
I don't know if you're familiar with this.
No.
You actually tell them, listen, I want to save $3,000.
Right.
So they set you up for a savings plan. And they ask you, well, how much are you going to put into it? $75 a month, $25 a month. You tell them, okay, $75 a month. And they report it as a loan that you are paying $75 a month.
Really?
When you come up with the total of the money, they'll cut you a check.
Nice.
I know.
Nice.
Same as right now you can report your rent. There are companies that you pay the rent to, and you pay like a $9 monthly fee, and they report it. And they backtrack it to the date of the lease. So they'll report 24 months on your credit.
Nice.
So this is my issue. You Google that stuff. It's not like
you have to pay $500.
It's not like listen. I know a guy in the corner that he can give you a trade line. No. That's only if you're gonna use that money to buy cocaine.
Yeah. So he mentions that but you're right. So basically, primary cards are like from actually bank cards that are issued from like Wells Fargo or
you know why
Bank
I
of
think
America.
he calls them primary, because you're the primary on the account. You're not an authorized user. I think it just clicked on me.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. So look, if you have no credit at all, and you go out and you get to me a solid way. And he kind of goes over this. So this is a solid way to build credit. Go out and get 3 secured credit cards for $400 or $500 a piece. Doesn't matter. You don't have to be rich. Matter of fact, you could go out and get one credit card for let's say $1,000. Then you can get like a convenience check.
Matt, you're so outdated. You're so 1980s. It's ridiculous.
But it works. I'm trying to
a
low down way to.
But there's easier ways to do it nowadays with technology, man. Like I'm telling you, first thing. Self. You want to get credit right now? First thing you're going to do is you're going to go to self.com.
Okay.
You're going to establish a savings account, a goal, and they're going to report right away.
Okay.
You're going to go to, I think it's a rent report or something like that. If not, they can email you, and I'll put the websites on your. Actually, this is what I'm going to do. I'll put the websites on this podcast.
You got to make them go to your fans only page.
I don't have a fans only page because I thought I had to show my penis, and there isn't much to show.
So you have to go to the fans only page. Then you can tell them what they could already basically.
Okay, so we can do something like that.
All right.
And
I'll put his. I'm going to put his Juan's email address. In the description,
because
so you can contact him.
If you have been renting for 2 years, it's going to show as a trade line 24 months old, and every time you pay the rent, it's going to show right there. So you have 2 right there.
Right.
And then get your uncle or your aunt to put you as an authorized user on one of piggyback writing.
I understand that, but I'm saying build your own credit.
Well,
I'm saying get a secure credit card.
But once that this guy puts you on his credit card, in 60 days, you can go get your own credit card and forget about the secure credit card situation.
All right.
I mean, I'll give you 5-6 websites on that are solid, and there are things that you are doing right now that if you do them,
you just have to continue being you.
You just gotta continue being you, and it's a lot of stuff that you're paying right now that is not that you're not reporting on.
Right.
You know?
Okay. So we're gonna keep going with BANDMAN.
By the way, did you know that there is a law that just passed Congress and is on Senate right now where the government wants to take over the credit reporting?
No.
And they want to eliminate Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian, and they're gonna become the credit reporting agency.
Did you know in China
that's going to be horrendous?
Did you know in China that they have facial recognition software almost everywhere in the inner cities, and that they track I knew. See, you're gonna
Sorry about that.
See,
that's probably gonna get you.
Like,
yeah, Kobe already. Yeah. I saw Kobe going.
I just lost.
Kobe just wrote down the minute when I said that, so he can take it out.
All right. So what happens is they actually track you, and like if you litter or you're late on your rent or you're late, like, and they're coming up with it. They call it it's like a social score. And literally, like if you're caught littering, if you're caught smoking on like public transportation, if you're caught, there's all these, all these little things, like if you've been caught with a, graffiti or all kinds of little stupid things that they basically combine all these things. They give you a social score and they'll limit how far you can travel, where you can live, if you can leave the country.
I'll tell you a story, and this is something that's why I want your viewers to Google this stuff. If you look at the history of Equifax, that's how they got started. They used to report people's behaviors, relationships with their mother, with their spouses.
It's important.
Sexual activity at home, and then they will have a report. And based on that, the lenders will choose to lend you or not, and life insurance and health insurance and all that stuff.
Nice.
So that's before the Fair Credit Reporting Act. So they created a law. Thank God they don't report sexual activity anymore. Otherwise...
Let's keep going.
I will get no credit.
I'm gonna hit the button. Okay, boom.
Everybody to just work on your credit, get your credit score up as much as you can, because it's a lot of people out here with money. They don't have no credit at all. They can get a regular car.
But that's a good advice.
6, you know what I'm saying? A 5, you know what I'm saying? Only thing that could be holding your points back from being on your credit, or you might not even have no credit. Just for the people that don't have no credit. All you need is some trade lines. All you need is some primaries or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Once you put that on your credit, you straight. You feel me? You're gonna be able to really turn up. You're gonna be able to really like go to the next level as far as.
Well, that's what he say. That's
but
not.
You need the history though.
I understand.
Ask your bank for a credit card, and if you don't get like a high limit credit card, my suggestion is just ask for a secure credit card. So let's say if you got $5,000, right? You can go inside of your bank and be like,
you're acting like it doesn't work. It does work.
It works, but why are you gonna freeze $5,000? Are you gonna pay interest on your own money?
The interest is a joke. The interest is nothing. You're just arguing to be argumentative at this point. Look.
You might be getting 50, 60, 70,000.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? Because credit ain't number trust. The more that the banks feel like they can trust you.
Does it show the rental agency?
You know what I'm saying? So if they feel like, oh, well, he already got a $40,000 credit card. He already got a $50,000 credit card. We can offer him $100 now. We can offer him $200,000. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, if you with a good bank, you can get secure credit cards. You can
listen. When you have larger credit limits, and when you have when you have those types of things, the bank is more. If you have good scores and you have larger limits, they are willing to lend you larger amounts of money.
That's the problem. True. I think people don't understand credit. I think he doesn't understand credit. Your credit report shows two things: your past and your future. Your score is your future. Your record is your past.
Okay.
It's like you, man. You have a dark past, but you have a brilliant future. Would I introduce you to my daughters? No, because I know your past. However,
you're going to watch this.
However, based on your future, you can fool some people.
Fool some people.
So
I mean, you're not helping me.
So credit score is the same thing. So yeah, I get 2 credit cards. I'm going to have a score of 700. You know this, man. You know when you go to a bank with brand new credit, how many people you've seen when you were a mortgage broker? Oh, I have 720 of score. Yeah, dude, but you only had these credit cards for 6 months.
Right.
We need 2 years.
Yeah. Or at least at the minimum, it depends.
At least one trade line had to be 2 years.
Yes.
So, yeah, the score...
Well, if not, then you go FHA. You know
if not, you go FHA, right. But then you have to justify the
higher interest rate.
That's a whole nother video that we just did. Yeah, which you should all watch. But the score will get you credit cards and it will get you the cars and it may give you personal loans, but it's not gonna give you what people are looking for. The $200,000 and the $300,000 is not gonna happen.
No. Okay.
Not with one secure credit card. Are you kidding me?
You can actually borrow against the $200,000 that sit in your banking account. You can, after you pay that money back, even though it's your money, but it's basically is helping building your credit. Now you can actually go in there and set something up with them and say, okay, cool. I would like to take out $700,000. I would like a loan for $800,000. You have the history on your credit showing that the $200,000.
I'm gonna have to pull a little card here, which I hate pulling. And you know me, you know my history. Dude, I was a freaking millionaire.
Right.
Okay, my money all came from banks.
Right.
I didn't just walk into a bank and said, "Hey, listen, you know, I borrowed money. Just give me." And I had signature loans,
right.
Which a lot of people don't know what they are.
What he starts off by saying, this is the part. He starts off by saying that you can go to a bank and give them $200,000, and they will lend you your own $200,000 back. And I first of all, I don't know. First, he also starts talking about like putting. Well, we'll see that in a minute. But yeah, so it's like, where are you getting $200,000?
And why do you have bad credit?
Okay,
if you have 200 grand, pay your freaking medical bills.
Yeah, fix your credit.
Yeah.
Those are little tips that I can tell you. If y'all got
Just little tips. I know a lot about credit, and I know a lot about income. It sounds like a caveman. Like income, good. Credit, good.
And we're gonna watch this part.
I have enough people hating me already without having to do these podcasts.
You've got a ton. I mean, it's gonna be good.
This is gonna be.
I'm desperate to read the comment section about people, because
you don't understand. I'm brown.
These guys,
they won't miss me if they kill me. But you're white. You're a token.
All right.
You'll make the news. I won't make the news.
I'm still a felon.
If you don't show up, you'll make the news. If I don't show up, people will be like, well, there's, you know.
Get me dumb. I feel like all of this is demonetized. So, all right. Yeah, all right, play it.
Trade lines, all of that. So today we're going to talk about, and this is obviously an exclusive interview that we're going to be having for our individual fans, his only fans, my individual mastermind. So thank you guys for watching.
Individual masterminds? Is that what it is? There's mastermind.
They're individual though.
Cash guy. I've made a lot of cash, and I've like all the businesses that I've been a part of. You know, I've been real estate wholesaling. I made millions and millions of dollars. That's all cash. There was no credit needed. I've been in, you know, now my e-commerce business, again, a lot of cash that I've been moving, not a lot of credit that's needed specifically. Right. So in my line of business, I didn't really need to master the art of credit. Right. But for you, you had to, because you have, I mean, $4 million worth of exotic cars that you're renting out. Right. You got Airbnbs all over the place that you're renting out. So you have a lot of cash flow.
All that's probably true. It may be true.
It's not true, man. It's not true.
He's got a diamond necklace.
Listen, man.
He's wearing Dolce &
If you have that kind of cash, you're not doing YouTube videos.
Basically telling me like I couldn't get anything, even with a month.
When I make that money again, I'm never coming to these freaking videos again. So you better take advantage of me while I'm poor.
That's true. The videos are fun. All right.
Trade lines are ways that you can pay people or companies to piggyback off of their credit. So let's say
No.
His definition.
Stop, brother.
7 minutes.
That's fraud. That's illegal. Okay, what he's talking about is paying people to add a trade line to your credit.
Right. No, well, I think he's trying to explain what
because
a trade
that exists.
Yeah, no, I understand.
And that's a federal crime.
I understand. Unless you do it like with his jewelers club, the jewelers club.
Well, that's different.
Because they actually are providing something. But if you're just paying someone to put a trade line on your credit, that's different.
I have right now that I pass in classes 10 indictments fresh off the press that I research on. All people that paid to have trade lines added to their credit so they could go get some credit.
Right.
Yeah.
So, okay, but I feel like what he's saying, he's still talking about piggybacking. He keeps saying trade lines are piggybacking, but what he means is what he just doesn't. He's just not very good at clarifying, explaining. What he's trying to say is you need trade lines. And one of the ways to get trade lines on your credit, to build your credit is built by trade line. Trade lines are loans, auto loans, credit card loans,
correct,
personal loans, student loans, whatever the loans
and
are.
And not all trade lines
mortgages,
are good.
Right. But you can have
furniture stores, not good.
Right. With that, we talked about that earlier. That's not what's like a major credit line.
That will
like
kill your credit score. Actually, yeah.
Yeah. It's so. Anyway. What I'm getting at is that he keeps saying that, and what he's trying to say is that, look, you need to build your credit with solid trade lines. And then he says, how do you get those? Is he then jumps back to you can piggyback off people that have legitimate ones and ask them to add you as an authorized user, which is what we just went over. But he explains it badly, and that's why it gets confusing. And once again, he's trying to move you to his fan-only page.
You can basically pay them history to be on your credit.
That's fraud. That's what I'm telling you about. He's telling you that you can pay somebody, dude, Oh my God, man!
Well,
somebody just got indicted now for doing this.
I know, but I've heard him say, like, there's another video where he's just like, he and another guy, they talk about straight fraud. They talk about, listen to what they talk about. This is. Oh my, dude. They have another video called.
This information cannot be out there, man.
Sure it can. It's fine. Let them get some people indicted. So the other thing he does is he has a video where he talks about, here's how you acquire real estate. You buy a property, you tell the lender you're going to live in it. Then once you get the loan, you then go and you get another property. Because you only have to put down 5%, 3 to 5% if you're going to live in the property, depending on whether it's conventional or FHA. So he says, tell them you're going to live in it, put down 5%. Then he says and then you rent it out. The next property, you say, hey, I'm going to live in this one. You rent it out. You get the 95% loan, you rent it out. Then you get another property. You say, hey, I'm going to live in this one. That's called owner occupancy fraud.
Correct.
And it's like there's 8 major frauds, 8 major scams, and there's like a cashback scam, there's a log cabin scam, there's a farming scam, which was my personal favorite. There's straw man scam, and one of them, one of them is called it's called owner occupancy fraud, and it's very common. But he blatantly spells it out. Like that's one of his strategies with this other guy, this real estate guy. The real estate guys, they're talking about.
The only blessing we have here is most people are procrastinators.
Well,
so they'll look at this thing and they'll never do it.
They'll never do it. Like,
and he knows that, and we all know that. I mean, I can tell you, listen, you want to raise some money very quickly. If you're an American citizen, go marry an undocumented alien and charge him 20. I mean. Yeah, that's fraud. Right. If you do that, but how many people are going to go out there and do this stuff?
And it's an overt act, and the problem is most people are unable to commit overt acts. They're simply unwilling. I've had guys...
But he's getting people buying the seminar, and he's getting people buying the books or whatever he's selling.
Yeah, no. He's
I mean, the aluminum foil shoes are not cheap.
No, those are expensive shoes.
Yeah.
Dolce & Gabbana aluminum or tinfoil. So, but what's interesting is... people, once again, they'll pay for that. They'll buy the things, but it's pulling the trigger. Yeah. Pulling the trigger is difficult.
A lot of people are not doers.
When I used to teach my real estate class, I used to say...
Where, in prison or out of prison?
No, in prison. When I was in prison...
I used to be in your training class.
It
was good.
It was a good class.
It was, yeah.
So when I did that class... guys would come up to me after class and they would say, bro, you're giving out all this knowledge. Like, aren't you worried that people are going to go out and do it? I was like, you understand I can tell 1,000 people this. Maybe one guy will go out and do it. And even then, I'm not concerned that he's going to do it better than me.
Correct.
So most of these guys just will not pull the trigger. Because it's not, being a millionaire is not that difficult.
I tell you, we were just talking before this podcast about our friend Lance.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Lance... was indicted because he committed a fraud a little bigger than Matt's, a little bigger than me.
How many billion?
3 billion. And you know that he paid 2 billion back?
Well, you have to. You really have to. So he kept try and make it right, Colby,
But
if I had a dime for every time I had to pay $1 billion or 2 billion back,
pesos,
he was going to pay 3 billion back. He just...
Well, he needed money for the commissary.
He just didn't have it on me.
He said, I need my money for my commissary and my phone and that kind of stuff. He gave me some distinctions on business credit that are unbelievable, and I didn't know about it. That's the kind of stuff that people should be looking into. This is pure madness. Pure madness. But Lance used to teach a business credit class, and like you said, half the people learned that stuff. They didn't do anything with it. They came out and they...
Oh, no.
Well, we know somebody already that
do you know,
went back.
As many guys that I taught the real estate class to, I had maybe 1 or 2 guys that got out. I had one guy that got out, was doing stuff, buying houses and selling them, renovating houses, selling them. One guy, he was like, bro, I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to take care of you. Because I had a lot of guys, I'm going to take care of you when I get out. I'm going to this, I'm going to send you money. I'm going to this. And of course, you never hear from them.
I'm going to take care of you in many ways, more than one.
I don't know what that means. So one of the guys actually sent me money. I think he sent me like 100, maybe 150 bucks in. And listen, I was super super appreciative that he sent me the money because I never expected anybody to send me anything from any of these guys. He actually did it, and we're talking about hundreds.
Oh my God, yeah,
hundreds.
That's why I used to charge him when I was in prison.
Yeah.
Listen, you want me to help you with your paperwork? You know how many detainees or inmates at the time, depending on where I was, credits I fixed in prison, and I got their score up, and they got out of prison. And I have records and records and records. You know what we should do? We should take Colby as our prodigy.
Colby's like, listen, I don't want to go to prison.
I think we should build Colby up to an 800 plus. We should finesse him. into an 800 score.
He's probably already got an 800 career. Bro, Colby, you understand? Colby is a guy that's done everything right in
why
life.
are we using Colby's credit?
Why aren't we?
Yeah.
Stop. Because Colby has a wife that would never let him do it. Not that Colby would do it, but he also has to bounce everything off of the way. Colby's like a legitimate, regular guy. All right, so let's.
Isn't it crazy that we talked about regular guys like that are so rare? Like Colby, you know Colby? He's like that one guy that doesn't screw people out of money.
Yeah, he's that one guy.
Yeah, like most people are like us.
No, they're not. Stop. What are you doing, bro? I mean, I'm going to get flack anyway for just doing this video. All right.
So let's continue.
I think most people are genuinely good. I'd like to put
Let's finish. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
To the next step of, if I don't have no credit cards and I get $30,000 on my credit, automatically I will be qualified for at least a $20,000 credit card until that trade line falls off. Are certain websites that you can join up for and become a member, and they give you $2,000, $5,000, $10,000 credit points. You get what I'm saying? Yep. And they revolve. They revolve all the time on your credit. So, for instance, My Jewelers Club is a great. They give you $5,000.
My Jewelers Club is a website.
It's a website,
and that's the primary's website.
Yes.
Okay.
They give you $5,000.
That's a tip.
You know what I'm saying? They give you $5,000. Once they give you $5,000. It shows up on your credit, you might shoot up 50, 60, 70 points. You feel me? So if you got a primary with an authorized user, which is a trade line, you know what I mean? And you put them both together, if you signed up with Experian is going to recommend you a certain type of credit card.
What do you get?
You got the history you got the $5,000 history, and you have age AU, which let's say if the AU is 30,000 and the account been open for 15 years. If that's
authorized, you mean AU is the authorized user?
I thought it was what women used to know to get pregnant.
Oh my God!
10 years at $30,000.
Wow.
Yep.
So what? So you get that? So that's a trade line that you get on your own credit, right?
Yeah.
So
See,
if you get something like that,
users.
what will the bank see, and why is that beneficial? So now I want to buy an exotic car.
Okay, for instance, now if I'm the banker and you come in versus not having anything on your credit and you tell me you want this car, okay.
They run out right away and buy it. And will you get me $200,000 worth of $300,000 worth of credit? I'm gonna run out and buy an exotic car.
Like
how are you paying for that? How are you paying
Kia
that back?
or something like that?
No.
Sorry or whatever, or they might try to convince you to put over 75% down on the car in order for them to even think to trust you.
Right.
You know what I mean? Because credit is trust. That's all it is. So I say most people, they get primaries first, you know what I mean?
Credit is what?
Trust.
Like,
that's true.
Like on my OnlyFans, I was telling you, I got over $50,000 worth of primaries on there, you know what I mean? And if you sign up for all 50,000,
on the OnlyFans,
I got over 50,000.
You get at least $50,000, $60,000 credit card.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
That's insane. So now that you can now obviously you have a $50,000 credit card, you can invest in multiple different businesses.
Exactly.
And what were you able to do?
So
you know
the first thing that I did was when I did all that with the primaries and the AUs, I basically took the credit off the credit cards and invested. You get what I'm saying? Let my money come back, and when it started doubling, I reinvested back into my credit. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
Finding higher trade lines. You can also get history. Like, I was looking always for older trade lines, 20-year, 30-year trade lines. You know what I mean? You don't want to get them too old because it's also based on your age. You can't be 20 years old with a 20-year trade line. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, if you're a little older, you can, because some parents, when the kids in high school, they add their children on trade lines at 15, 16.
Right.
So it makes sense, but credit is all about history and they just want to feel like they can trust you.
Understood.
You know what I mean?
So now you get, so really the point of this is if you don't have money, what he just said is you really don't have the knowledge. That's what it is. Like most people, if you don't have money, it's not that you don't have money, it's that you don't have the knowledge because the money's there. Yeah. If you finesse and you understand how trade lines work, you can literally get a $30,000 to $50,000 credit card limit overnight.
Okay, I'm gonna stop it because it's not going anywhere.
This is not going anywhere. Yeah, this is very repetitive.
I would like to mention one thing that they don't, because some of that's true, some of it's not. Here's the other problem: is that look, if you go into Bank of America And let's say you've gotten the authorized user. As I got 2 people to put me on their card. I got the 15 years worth of perfect credit. Let's say I have my scores are 760. I can go to Bank of America and I can apply for a credit card for $20,000 or $30,000. That is all possible, right?
It is possible.
But the problem is the people that are watching these videos. You do understand you have to have had a job. Like this isn't. Having the score and the credit isn't the only factor in getting...
Just because the guy's name is Vasquez doesn't mean, are you trying to tell me that my people are unemployed? And
I'm just saying these are people that are not. These are people watching this video that are not savvy enough to already have this knowledge and be using this knowledge. These are people that are uneducated in credit. Uneducated in credit.
Listen, the nature of your crime, what was the nature of your crime? The same nature of my crime. People that are unsophisticated, hungry for money, and you sell them a dream. That's just what's happening. No.
I borrowed money from banks. What are you talking about?
Right.
Stop putting me in your category,
that must have been my crime. My crime was, so you all know, taking advantage of people that were ambitious but had no knowledge.
Yes.
So when you are like that, you kind of buy into anybody.
You're convincing them to buy houses that they really necessarily couldn't afford.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, if for you to go into the bank and get a $30,000 credit card, like you have to have been on your job.
You
have to
be,
and
you need to have a history with that bank.
Right.
Unless you're going to, like, this is the part that I don't understand.
If I apply for a $20,000 credit card or $10,000 credit card, I'm probably going to get the $10,000 credit card.
This is what you should do. This is what I don't understand. Why don't you go to nerdwallet.com or bankrate.com? You don't have to walk into any freaking bank. They run your credit and they're going to tell you qualify for these 5 credit cards.
But I don't think he literally meant walk into your bank. I think he meant more I think he meant more like you go online, you apply online.
He doesn't mention credit unions. Credit unions are great.
They are great. So here's what I'm saying is that you basically have to have a job.
Yeah.
So that's the problem is a lot of these things, they're only mentioning a certain part.
But can I lie about my job?
I mean, that would basically is probably what's going to happen with these guys. Or these guys will get turned down and say, I don't understand. I've been on my job at Walmart for the last 4 months.
So if I make $35,000 a year, would they lend me $50,000 on credit card?
No, they're not going to.
Unless I tell them
maybe. Because the problem is you sit there and you have to fill out the application and people are like, well, I still make 50, I can make the payments. Yeah, I understand, but you do understand that they're going to say, how much is your rent? Oh, my rent? It's $1,200. Then they're going to see your car payment. Oh, so if you're making $35,000 a year, you're not getting a $50,000 loan if you put down all of your other bills accurately. Or if you say, I've just been on my job for 4 months, but I watched BANDMAN Kevo's video. He said I can come in here and get a loan.
And I'm here to buy my Lambo.
Right. I'm here to get $50,000 or $200,000, whatever it is. Like, you have to be able to qualify for that.
And nobody wants to hear that.
No.
Nobody.
Well,
listen, the fat people don't want to hear that to lose weight, you have to stop eating.
No, you need the ab roller.
You need the ab roller. The broke people don't want to understand that to make money, you have to educate yourself.
Right.
So this is the easy solution. This is a quick fix.
Easy. Well, it's hype, and he's trying to move you to his fan page. OnlyFans
or whatever.
His OnlyFans.
That lets you know that we've been in prison too long. We don't even know what we're talking about.
Yeah. So
he wants to move you to his MySpace.
Yeah. So.
And his AOL account.
All right. So. All right. So
you don't even know what that is, Colby. You're too young for that.
We're at 45 minutes. Let's wrap this up, baby.
Let's wrap this.
All right, we are wrapping this up. And hey, so if you like the video, do me a favor, subscribe, hit the bell, share the video, leave a nasty comment for Juan and I about how horrible this is. And I'm going to leave, if you want Juan to look at your credit or talk to him about credit or fix your credit or do anything like that, I'm going to go ahead and leave his email address in the description. See ya.
Ciao.